Hello, my name is Alexander Morari, and I'm the founder of ITKeyMedia. You've tuned to our podcast about Central and Eastern European startups that are in their pre-seed or pre-Series A stage. And we try to help such companies in their quest for the first business successes, quest for investors, clients, or all combined. Our guest today is Przemysław Budnicki, the CEO of a company called Holo4Labs, based in Poland. And Holo4Labs has developed a mixed reality solution changing the way labs work. They also say this is a revolutionary solution. We will find out why this is so.
Yes, hello, and thank you for having me here.
So let's move to round one, product solution. Before you discuss describe the solution and the app itself, could you please introduce the general context where your product pops up?
So what this solution gives you is when we put on the glasses, so we can screen the information, the needed information, with the right context and the right time, the real time. So we can take this data from the IoT sensors, we can take the data from the proprietary system, we can take the computer vision and understand what the person is doing. So that's what's happening right now. If you look for the industry, all of the automotive and space companies, they use augmented reality to assembly and making the stuff. And in our case, is very similar with the laboratories. There is a huge pressure to be more agile, to work faster, to change the procedures. And it's harder and harder for people to understand and to remember all the procedures. So if you have the opportunity to show in the real time, in the right moment, the right context, the information, right now, don't do that. You have to, next step is this. So it's a great help. And very often, as I said, the changes are so fast that people usually like to make some habits, to do repeatable jobs, not to, use our mind very, very frequently hard. Yeah. So we like to have some help with this. And that's what we can do with the Holo4Labs and with the mixed reality and augmented reality systems.
Mm-hmm. And what's the business model again? You mentioned the business model has two tiers, so to say, right? So how do you plan to earn?
The model is simple. We sell the licenses for the user that executes the procedures with the Holo4Labs software. It's quite easy.
Who is the current paying customer? Do you have any?
We are starting right now because it's in our case, when we talk about the laboratories, usually we talk to the big customers, big companies, corporations, and as Microsoft issued HoloLens in the February or March this year, so we were waiting for HoloLens to hit the market. Yeah, we had all the system ready, and then COVID appeared. So for 2-3 months, it happens that we had to, we had the problems with the customers that wanted to wait a little bit, look for the situation, what's going to happen. So it stopped us for like 3 months.
Yes.
But during these 3 months, a lot of good things happened. I mean, good things for us. So our customers understood that it's much more of remoteness needed to be effective, and you can do a lot of things remotely, and you have to have the tools to do it. So during these 3 months, we get up higher in the agenda of our customers. So that was a great change for us. But anyway, when we started to talk to the customers, and right now we are during a few POCs with the biggest companies, biggest pharma in this case, companies over the world. If you can say like 4 companies that are talking about the vaccines for COVID, we are talking with 2 of them, for example. Yeah, so we talk to the biggest guys in the world, and usually when we talk about the big business, decisions about any purchase is about 9 to 12 months.
Yes.
So as we started more or less in the half of this year, so we expect to have a first bigger sales in the second quarter of next year. We have already first orders. The laboratories, as any industry, they are quite conservative. So the changes, especially if you have 70,000 of users, of employees, the changes are not very, very fast. So it's like more step by step. So we expect to sell like few 200, 300 licenses for one big customer next year, for example. And that's gonna be a great result. I mean, in fact, if we would have this kind of sales, it would be exceeded our expectations at the moment, and it would be much more over the break-even point right now.
Great, interesting. So let's say by end of 2021, you have 200 licenses sold to one client. What would be the potential revenue from this contract or from these installations? And
well, I would not like to talk about exact revenues, because it depends on the way the licensing that we use. But it's going to be like hundreds of thousands of dollars for sure. Especially as we are based on SaaS licenses. So
yes,
we build the mass of the licenses and customers, and according to our expectations, 2021 it's not going to be this the hockey stick. It's going to be in the half of 2022, which is quite fast for us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And with this US-based pharma company, let's take this again as a case study in terms of implementation. Let's say we sign an agreement with you today as a US pharma company, and the first package would be 200 licenses. What do you need to implement? How much time you need for that? And when the system will be up and running?
It's very fast for us. Visually, we are much faster than the customers can manage. I mean, the system is ready, so we just have to choose the procedures that will be executed. It's usually not the big list of the procedures. For the beginning, it's like 2, 3, 5 different examinations, different procedures. So
okay.
You have one kind of a sample to be tested, and all this procedure that is needed to be done. It's usually quite complex, but anyway, just have few procedures, and this procedure is done by number of the people. Yeah. So so what we need. Order for the Microsoft and order HoloLens, which is very fast, and setting up the server, putting on the procedures, train the people. We can do it in a few weeks without any problems.
And with us, this US-based company, I understand this is scalable pretty easily as well, right? If this is one lab, you just do what you just mentioned, and then second lab, you just repeat the hardware purchase and so on, and then it's bang and ready. Mm-hmm.
It's quite easy. You have a Teams on your phone.
Yes.
Or Zoom.
Yes.
So it's just as easy. The next guy is just taking an application and from the store, from the App Store, whatever, of the Zoom. We work the same way. We just give them the HoloLens with the applications. You put it on and you can use it, and it's step by step. So you need in fact 15, maybe 20 minutes of the training, and you do the tutorial, and you're ready to go.
In all honesty, are the labs are just the first steps for you? And if not, I hope not. What is the next vertical that you have in mind?
No, the laboratories in our case is the first and second and third step probably. So there is no plan B for the customer. It is because our mother company which is the Tenderhat. Yeah. He's working with the customers in laboratories as the partner of biggest life science companies in the world. They're called Thermo Fisher Scientific. Yep. They produce LIMS system for the LIMS system is a main system for all the management of the laboratory. It's called Laboratory Information Management System.
LIMS.
And the LIMS. And our friends, they were implementing LIMS systems for more than 5 years. So huge experience. And while we were doing this, we seen the options, the possibilities of mixed reality.
Yes.
So we understand very well these customers and very well the LIMS implementations and needs, etc. So that's our biggest strength. In fact, when we are talking about how we approach the market, we understand as no one else. I mean, no other vendor. The laboratory customers. So while I'm right now, where I see the response from the customers, and how they look for the opportunities, which kind of systems they want to implement, we are on the right path. So I don't think we will gonna need any other market. In fact, it's more than 800,000 laboratories on the world. So it's much more than we need to be unicorn. Yeah. So the only thing that we are, of course, all the time doing is we're listening to the customers about better use cases, what they need to do, how they can use Holo4Labs to their best interest. And that's what we do. We listen a lot.
Yes, interesting. So you hinted already about competition or lack of thereof. Let's move on to the second round. And this will be about competitive landscape, okay? How big competition is in this space?
At this moment, we have the very, very like spotted solutions, companies that say, okay, we did the procedures or maintenance procedures in the industry, let's do it in a laboratory system. So they go to some pharma company and say, oh, we can help you to do the pipetting, for example, in the laboratories. Yeah? But the difference is that they try to make the one procedure. Yeah, it's like this way, and they also are very, very in the beginning of the decision process for the customer. Okay. But what we do is we do it totally differently. We know how to automate the process. So we are saying not one procedure. You can put on all the list of the procedures that you want within the system, and then you do a click and you use it with the Holo4Labs. So probably we are the only company at this level in the world right now. But if we talk about the other competitors landscape, there is a lot of companies, the big ones very often like PTC or UBmax, that have a great experience on the mixed reality and augmented reality level. What they do is they deliver the platforms. So they say that, okay, we know how to do the procedures, we know how to, just put on this Unity 3D models into the systems. So here you can buy it and you can use it. But the problem for this is that the customer has to, just take a decision to put a lot of effort, engage more people to learn to how to use the system and to buy the licenses, which are in fact in the price for about our price.
Yes. Okay.
So they're huge effort, the same price, and let's say quite quick and easy win with us.
Yes. Okay. Because this is a complete solution. You're not only selling the solution, but also get in what you sell implementation, and I understand also subscription goes along with the support on many dimensions and so on. Okay, interesting. So then, what's the plan for defendability, or how would you defend the business plan or the business idea?
Go fast to the market to be recognizable. So we want just to be known as the first on the market.
Let's move on to round 3. Companies' successes and failures by now. What's the biggest success by now?
The biggest success is a number of the POCs after this few months and the response from the customers. The great thing is that we have this resonation that the customers think, wow, you do what we were thinking about, like dreaming of what would you dream? What would be like the way that you work in your dreams? Yeah, and say, oh, that's important. That's something like this. And what would you need? And they usually say, okay, what about integration? Okay, security. Yeah, we did it. Oh, and this one, and the procedures, and the automation, and we usually have the answers already ready for all these questions. So. From my point of view, that's the one of the biggest wins for us.
Interesting, and that's one of the outcomes of being laser sharp on specific sector, right? On specific vertical. Yeah. That's what comes together with your name, basically, Holo4Labs, right? It's an easy sell, initial sell, so to say. What about the failure? In all honesty.
The failures. I mean, the failures always will teach us the best. Yeah. And
come on, you're a CEO of a company with global ambition and so on. What's the biggest failure by now?
Probably the biggest failures are probably just in front of us in this case.
Przemysław, yes, interesting. Thanks. Let's move on to round 4, and we'll discuss the company, the founding team, and your roots, and also the team as well. So first and foremost, who are the founders now? How many founders and who are they?
Okay, so let's say I will say first where the company came from. We grew up from the Solution4Labs, which is the part of the Tenderhat group. Tenderhat is one of the fastest growing software houses in the CE. And Solution4Labs is, as I said, is integrating, not integrating, is implementing the LIMS systems to the laboratories. So the idea of the Holo4Labs grown within the Solution4Labs with in the head of Paweł Gawkowski, the CEO of Solution4Labs, and we had a lot of time to work over the product. We had the money to invest to make the solution, so we put on like $1.5 million to make the implementation.
What currency? Sorry, what currency? 1.5 million. Yes, okay. Zloty. So it's more or less like 350k euros, right?
Yes. Okay. And we built the solution. We tested this and asked the customers. We had the great opportunity to work with, for example, Thermo Fisher that I mentioned. Yeah. So all the stuff was ready when we decided to take the Holo4Labs as a separate company. What happened in this year, in the half of this year, more or less.
So mid 2020. The company Holo4Labs was incorporated as a separate entity.
Yes, we're incorporated as a separate company.
Okay. How many shareholders, how many founders of the company are there?
Okay, so the shareholders, at the beginning, it was only the Tenderheart Group and Robert Strzelecki and his peers, the owners of the Tenderheart. And so we can say that the founder is also the team of the Solution4Labs. But that was the time when I joined the company, and the second person, which was also working on the Holo4Labs even before, is Sebastian Sobociński, the CTO. So there are two main management persons at this moment, and the owner is still Tenderheart Group, and some percent of the shares it is a limited company. So the owners are the crowd sourcers, because we also issued the crowdsourcing campaign with a great success. So we have like 140 investors also.
Yeah, this will cover later on. Okay, and what about the full-time employees? Okay, in the
7 persons.
7 people, right? What's the division of labor between, among these people? How many tech, how many on the sales? Because you mentioned already that you are aggressively selling.
Yeah, so the 7 persons are the main core team of Holo4Labs, which is mainly development and the sales staff. So we have the technical stack of the skills of our team, which is probably full. So we cover all the elements that we need to have to go on with the development of the solution. And we have a salesperson who is me and partly Sebastian, but we very effectively also use the outsourcing. So we cooperate with the sales team from Tenderheart Group. It's quite powerful, but we also use outbound, inbound, which is very, very effective these days. I would say that, the old model of selling died. In fact, it's not like the cold calling for, to the GM of Roche. It's not so easy right now. It's possible, probably. But thanks to this good marketing, a lot of these customers, they contacted us first. And they say, wow, you do the nice job. Let's talk. Okay. So it's kind of part of my strategy, of my sales strategy, is to make the right content and make this movement of the customers and interest from outside to the company.
So convince them to get back in touch, not by your sales tricks, but by the merit of the solution. Okay.
It's like, it's like if somebody calls you and say, would you like to have a Tesla drive? Just to take a look at it, if it's good for you. So what do you say? Yeah. You say, yes, let's meet. Yeah. And this is kind of like what we do. It's like we're saying, take a look on we have a very short movie, 40 seconds, what we do in Holo4Labs. So we just say, guys, we're doing a digital transformation in laboratories, like this, and this. Yeah. So take a look, 30 seconds. Do you want to talk?
Yes.
And that's it, really. And very often the answer is yes. It's like what they invest an hour of the time, and they can drive Tesla.
Yeah. Przemysław, thanks. Let's move on to next round, round 5. We'll call it Formula F3, funding for the future. Okay. So you have mentioned already that the investment into the company by now was around 350k euros. And then what about this crowdfunding campaign that you closed successfully?
Yeah, I mean, not to getting into details so much. There was more of investment into the Holo4Labs.
Yes. Okay.
But yes, in the middle of the year, we decided to crowdfund, and when we get the round of the crowdfunding, we hit the maximum what we wanted to achieve. It was 1,200,000 zloty within like 4 or 5 days. So it was very, very fast. And that makes us, like really stable when we talk about, future and development of the product.
Yeah.
But we want to go much faster. So right now we are also in the middle of negotiations with like few VC funds.
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to use this money to grow faster. We right now, of course, we are just like every fast-moving company. We learn a lot. So we found out a lot of information and things that we didn't know. And right now we had a slight change in our strategy to hit the bigger market in near future. So we are right now looking for the investors for sure.
Can you share a little bit more details? What can you offer to VCs and what you need from VC as well? What are the amounts, if you can share that, or the range, let's say?
Yes, well, we have a clear strategy of grow. So the money is not everything. We are looking for the smart money for sure, and many of the VCs have the great experience in entering the next markets. For us, there are 3 markets that we want to approach. The DACH market,
German-speaking countries,
German-speaking countries, UK and US. That's the most important for us, and that's where we focus on. So it's a lot of time and money to get this market, and we know exactly what do we have to implement. I mean, what functionalities and how our system have to evolve. So these are the two main factors to invest, in fact. And what it gives back, of course, it's gonna support our strategy of grow and sales. And I think we are able to hit the sales of big millions in 2022, 2023, which gives us a very interesting evaluation.
Yes, clear. Now, what's the goal for the next investment round? And would you qualify that as seed?
I would say it's going to be probably the A round, because it will be between 1 and 2.5 million zloty. So 300 up to 600, 700 dollars.
Yeah. Okay.
Or euro.
And are you focusing on Polish funds, VC funds, or like regional, Central Eastern European, or you don't make any like discrimination? You don't have any discrimination as far as
I'm open to talk with anyone. And as I said, of course, not only the money are important. The money are the most important thing, because I know how to use them for sure. But the smart money and for example, a good experience on implementing the tech industry, B2B companies on some kind of market would be also a great thing for us.
What's the plan for the company when it's mature?
Well, it's always very important for the investors, the most important, in fact. So there are 2 ways that we plan to enable the exit. One is entering the market, the new connect, and the second one is sell to the subject matter expert company, like for example, I mentioned the companies as Thermo Fisher or other big players in the life science industry.
Okay.
So that's also very probable scenario that we can count on.
So IPO or an industry investor. industry, let's say.
Take over, in fact.
Yeah, acquirer. So
acquiring, yes. It's usually it goes this way that these investors are buying all the shares of the company. That's the possibility of good exit for investor.
Yeah. And you mentioned New Connect, which is the alternative, so to say, stock exchange based in Warsaw, right?
Yes, at this moment we think about it. We will see what's going to happen next.
Okay, yes, great. Przemek, thanks. That was a great conversation. Definitely. Thank you very much and all the best, all the good luck. And by the way, are you hiring right now or are you firing right now?
No, firing for sure, not hiring, not firing, not at all. We will be hiring next people to develop the next functionalities, and we will see. Probably we will also hire a sales guys from these markets that I mentioned when we will be ready to hit them harder. Based in Poland or based in the target markets? The target markets, I think, is better for us. I think that we all work remotely, and if you're closer to the market, and for example, you're fluent, you're native, it's much easier for you, of course, to operate on the market. So probably yes, probably the outsiders. Great, Przemek. Good luck with further development of the project and finding new clients in different markets and growing aggressively. We hope to keep track of your progress as well on ITKeyMedia podcast or on our website. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, and all the best to you. So that was Holo4Labs, everyone. They are ready to pitch and approach big international corporations. They're in the market right now for smart VC investment of around 300 to 500,000 euros. And they are planning to aggressively expand to German-speaking countries, UK and US, and they are about to start hiring local salespeople as well. It was a great opportunity to have a holocopter view of their project and seemingly huge potential there as well. Well, you don't need a HoloLens to find and click the subscription bell just below the screen. That's it for now. Join us next time. All the best. Bye-bye.